Welcome everybody to the Void Podcast episode 6 out of 6 so far. Episode 2 of season 2, number 6.
Welcome.
Yeah, yeet.
Thank you for being here. You've held in this long.
Nancy meme. Yeah, so, we're back, vape, and, we're ready to rumble.
What do we got on today's agenda, Casey?
Well, first I wanted to flash everybody my bona. See that? Bigger than you thought.
What is that?
Well, this is actually a hardwood floor polish. It's a brand. It's like a Swiffer, but it's just for hardwood. My bona.
On my hardwood.
My mom gave me her bona. Fuck it, this is true. This is not a lie. So, I don't know.
How's the floor polishing coming?
The floor just fucking looks phenomenal. That sheen is ridiculous.
Sponsor, Bona.
Oh.
Hit us up.
Yeah. You give us some Bona, we give you some Bona. World goes round. So, I guess let's get straight to the news. I wanted to crack one joke about you're gonna need a wrench that big to fit around these nuts.
Where's my wrench at?
You want it? Gotta get Garrett his fucking wrench. Here you go, Garrett.
Thanks. I want to be part of it.
Alright, the most current relevant news to date. So, the biggest news of this past month, that's come to my knowledge, I don't know how long this has been going on, is at Project Melody on Twitter and Chatterbait. If you do not know what Chatterbait is, it's an online porno website where people live kind of like this, but like if what I'm doing right now was the same, like it's within seconds of you.
It's a podcast, but without their clothes on.
Yeah, you can't listen to it later. Like what we do.
Can we just put our podcast on Chatterbait, but just in Speedos instead? Is that allowed?
We might do episode 10 Chatterbait special. I'm not 100%.
If this video gets 1,000 likes, we'll do it.
1,000 likes, and me and Garrett might get completely naked. No, we're not getting naked. I'll be naked. Neither of us will be naked. But hold on, what were we gonna take a bath in?
I don't remember. Was it like oatmeal or something?
I don't know. We'll take a bath in something.
That's
not naked.
Look forward to it.
Look forward to it. Yeah. So anyhow, we were talking about Chatterbait. I should probably get to like the reason why I brought it up. Project Melody is a animated hentai girl. So somebody has pre-recorded, pre-made cartoon hentai videos that are lustful, and they just started streaming that to Chatterbait, and that's not really that funny. But what's funny is all the women across the world that, I guess there's more than just women, there's dudes too. I didn't read any of the dudes being mad about it. You know how the fellas be. But there's a lot of women posting on Twitter that they were upset with this because, it had like 15,000 people watching it. You gotta think all the living humans that are doing it themselves.
At the exact same time.
Trying to get people to come watch it. And then somebody just puts a freaking cartoon up that's bringing in more money. And they don't even have to show their own body.
Sorry, ladies. Go to programming school.
Oh, yeah. Bots before thoughts. Boom!
Quote of the day.
Bots before thoughts.
GOTD.
Yeah. You really think you need a girlfriend when you got Siri?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. So, yeah, that's that. That's the Chatterbait story. That's the biggest stuff that's happened. Other stuff that happened, Trump was acquitted. He's not gonna be removed from office. The Virginia House passed a gun ban, seizure bill. They're like, no more assault weapons. People, what is that word? Oh yeah, people, they don't have to like turn them in. It's not like a total seizure bill, but they're saying that they'll confiscate said high capacity rounds. Magazines. Yeah.
It just comes back because you need to get the double barrel.
Yeah, double barrel AR.
If you understand the reference, thank you for being a fan.
Like this video if you get that reference. Like this video if you don't get that reference.
No, hit the dislike.
Hit the dislike.
Report us.
No, because more people might report us, but don't dislike the video. So, Garrett, you have a couple things. Throw some dirt on the table.
All right, I'll throw some dirt on the table. Keanu Reeves meme got published accidentally in a Ukrainian high school textbook. So, do you remember? This is a little bit before our time, but
the famous picture of all the dudes sitting on the the steel structure, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like building the high rises in New York. You've seen like that famous picture of like the steel beam like out on like the
all the dudes eating their sandwiches,
like just like dangling off like the edge. Like if any of those guys lost their balance, they'd
dead.
Yeah, instantly.
Dead. Well, somebody photo edited this depressing photo of Keanu Reeves on a bench into this photo, as seen here, and
Ukrainian textbook.
And Ukrainians published it in a.
They thought it was just a regular photo. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I'd be curious to see. I doubt it was.
Yeah, maybe it was just a big Keanu fan. He's just like, he made it in the book.
You know they're making a Bill and Ted's Adventure 3.
I heard about that.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I wonder if Keanu's gonna keep the beard.
I don't know. Maybe. I think he can. Wild stallions.
He should just be John Wick, but act that role. You know how legendary that'd be? Like Dog in the Benelli the whole damn time. But just burn it. White Castle. That was Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Same thing, dude.
A buddy comedy, I guess. I don't know.
Just a stoner comedy. Buddy comedy.
I don't think they smoked weed in.
They didn't. So I'm just thinking Harold and Kumar. Keanu Reeves burns. Don't care what you say, he ain't gonna change. I don't care if he said I don't.
He does.
You burn.
At least in Casey's book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Which is the most important.
But I thought about that. Do you think memes will actually be published in textbooks, in the future?
They have to be. They have to be. The President of the United States posts memes, dude.
Right. So I'm sure there's gonna be some mention of memes. There has to be.
Dependent on who publishes the book.
I'd publish a book about memes.
The meme history book. So yeah, there's a coronavirus going around. That's no fun. China is freaking out about it. There's pictures online of that just show the streets of Beijing completely empty. There was an article I read this past week, and it was saying there was a hoax going around in China, and people were saying that cats and dogs are spreading the disease. And a whole bunch of photos came out of people who had thrown their cats and dogs out of windows of high-rise buildings and stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was.
It's terrible.
And I mean, the streets are empty. No, people are killing their pets.
It's not from cats and dogs because they eat bats.
Yeah.
They literally eat, it's not okay, so imagine, when you go to Red Lobster.
Those Chinese guys from China just catch a pigeon midair and eat it alive.
No, you know what they'll do? Literally, they'll actually, you know how you go to, Red Lobster and, go to the tank and you're like, I'll have that one. They have a cage of bats and you choose which one you want. And they don't, prepare it. They don't, fillet it and, take the meat.
They take a mallet, they whomp it on the head.
No, they throw it in live. They just they literally take a bat and throw it into a boiling pot of water. It has its hair, it has its teeth, and everything. And they just throw in some soup. Google it.
Cuisine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how. I don't know. That's at least what they think it is. Because bats apparently have better immune systems and stuff, so they can, they can carry these diseases without dying. And then when humans eat a frickin' bat that's not even been cleaned in a bowl of soup, it'll.
Bat soup? Is bat soup crazy? You wouldn't catch me doing that.
No.
I'd be like,
gross.
I will starve.
Yeah, well.
Until I'm starving, then I'm like, give me a disease of bat.
I will eat it.
I will eat this.
Very nice.
Very nice. High five. So, anyhow, coronavirus, it was declared a global emergency, I can't speak, by the World Health Organization a couple weeks ago. And, I guess also a couple weeks ago, on the 27th of January, there was a bag of dead birds from China that was removed from a passenger in Virginia. The passenger claimed it was cat food. They opened up his bag and he had a whole bunch of, like a dozen dried up dead birds.
So somebody wasn't doing their job at customs when the person came to the United States. He's like, do you have any items to declare? No. They couldn't see, like, the freaking...
Well, no, it was Border Patrol and Customs that stopped him. That removed the birds from him.
But they got through onto the airplane from China, is that...
Well, right, so from China, the birds made it to the United States, but then the birds didn't leave the airport. They were contained.
It's gross.
That's wild. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, so don't be getting the coronavirus. You're probably pretty safe. For now. I ain't making no promises. I don't know how that shit works. You play Plague Inc? Shit's spooky.
You think Corona, like the beer company's pissed because now when you try to Google, like if you try to Google Corona, like the first thing that comes up is coronavirus?
Marketing, man. Any publicity is good publicity. All they really have to do, let's be real here, Corona, the beer company, you want to make a difference, drop a custom virus beer. It would be legendary. People would eat the shit out of it in the States.
Yeah.
If they made what if Corona just dropped like a fucking...
it just says Corona and then virus?
No, like a virus stout Corona. You know how fucking awesome that would be? People would buy this shit. I would go down to get a 6-pack right now.
I think that might be in bad taste. I think Corona might feel that would piss a lot of people off, but it would be awesome.
I don't think Corona cares. Hell, the beer that they sell in Mexico, the Mexico Corona, is different from the standard Corona that's sold in the United States. And I mean, in Colorado, anyhow, it wasn't until like the last year or two. Have you seen the Corona Familiars?
No.
You haven't seen those. That's the Corona they sell in Mexico. But for years, they've had their own American shit they sell
Really?
here. Yeah.
Is it better? Debatable?
I like it. I like them both. I'm not a biggest Corona guy. Modelo Life!
I do like Modelo. I like Pacifico. You like Pacifico?
I like beer. Down that shit. Is it time, Garrett?
It's time.
Okay, let's do this shit. Here, Garrett. Drop that on the logs. We got our our fat tires on ice.
Ooh. Noise.
I like it. Sick. Set your scraps on your shelf.
Don't clutter the table.
Oh yeah, shit. You have 3 shelves if you didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like my go-to.
It's sweet.
That's where I put my Bona.
You hide your Bona?
Yeah. Right in that crack there. You're next, Garrett.
Okay, so just when you think Tide Pods is the dumbest shit ever, there's a new challenge out there, Casey. Can you venture to take a guess? Any ideas? Any thoughts?
I'm just mad already. Just tell them.
It's called the Outlet Challenge. It's where you stick a charger halfway into an electrical socket and then touch a copper penny to the prongs. Naturally, this is probably not the best idea. Shit's blowing up. Fires are getting started.
Okay. If you didn't know, this is the NFPA of 2020. Came out right in January, maybe in December. The National Fire Protection Agency 70. 70 is just the NEC, National Electrical Code. So if you're an electrician, this is your Bible. This is all the minimums that you have to do for the safety to get it done. I am an electrician. If you did not know, it happened. So yeah, that's what I do for a living. But what you need to know is on your standard plug, here, unplug the computer, hand me that. So right, you got your two vertical plugs and the one at the bottom. So what's going on here is you have your hot, your neutral, and your ground. Or you're ungrounded, you're grounded, and your grounding conductors. This longest one that goes on the bottom is your ground. It touches first because that's the path back to Earth to safe off the circuit. These two are the same length. One's bigger than the other. The bigger one is your neutral, and the smaller one is your hot. Basically, in theory, I'm going to sum this up because, learning electricity is not easy. One wire, your hot, ungrounded, goes from the panel to device. The other wire, your grounding conductor, returns from the device to the panel. So the power goes there and then goes back to the panel. And then there's a neutral bar where all the neutrals go together, and it is connected to the grounding bar where all the grounds go together. The grounds I didn't explain. They're pulled in the pipe or ran to the same location as the device, but there's no electricity in it because in theory the excess electricity that isn't used hits the panel and then diminishes through your grounds and goes back to Earth. Casey's little electrical adventure. So that's stupid. You'll kill yourself doing that. 120 volt in your houses, very dangerous. You're living in Europe, your receptacles don't look like that. What I explained is very wrong. That's because you do not live in the United States. But it works the same. The prongs are just different because the countries are like, oh, you want to plug your shit in my country? Adapter, motherfucker. I don't even know what that was.
That was an ice cube.
That was an ice. Oh, fuck, dude. My shit's just melting. Shit, motherfucker.
Put that in the outlet.
Yeah. That's way cooler than a pen. Don't do that either.
Outlet challenge part 2, guys. Fuck pennies.
No.
Stick an ice cube.
No, guys. The ultimate outlet challenge, it can only be done once. What you need to do is go down to Home Depot and you can buy a grounding rod. Okay? It's a 10-foot rod dipped in copper. Then you got to get a hammer drill. Or you could use a hammer. Hammer drill's gonna... if you really want to have a sad death, just get a hammer. And just beat that fucker all the way down to the ground. And then go fill up your bathtub. Jump in your bathtub. Get a fork. Run out, soaked in water, grab your fork, grab your grounding rod, and stick your fork in the hot or the neutral side of that plug. You should die. Unless it's a GFCI. Ground fault circuit interrupter.
What'll happen then?
You might still die, but it'll trip. GFCI is what I just mentioned. Since this is electrical time with Casey, that's what this episode's called, because Casey's just gonna keep going. Freaking,
I have this episode called Lawsuit. We got sued.
That's the next one.
Oh, you guys.
They don't know that yet. Don't worry about that. You'll figure it out.
It's all good. We can't talk about it right now.
This is in the hush-up for like a couple weeks. Then you can know.
Once the case clears.
Yeah, once we're good. Speaking of which, we should probably bring that up. Yeah, we fired Matthew.
He was a shitty weatherman.
He was the worst fucking weatherman this world has ever fucking seen.
He'll never work in this town again.
Yeah, no, he's been blacklisted through our business union. And yeah, no. Me and him had some harsh words. I'm still distraught about the whole thing.
Evan, how's the weather?
Evan, welcoming our new weatherman, Evan. Tell us the weather.
Well, as your local weather might predict, it is a snow squall out. Yeah, it's pretty shitty right now.
Squall. So squall.
We just heard that word for the first time today.
You know what a squall is?
Me neither.
Evan, explain to them what a squall is.
Do a snow angel.
Yeah, define what a squall is, Evan.
I don't fucking know.
Excellent job, Evan. All right, yeah, get the fuck out of here. We're paying him less than we were paying Matthew.
We don't pay him at all.
Next big thing in the news. There's a Florida man. He bit his neighbor's ear off over a cigarette. This was earlier in January. I just didn't find it until now. Just too legendary to not share.
The correct term is Mike Tyson his ear off.
Yeah, no, it actually said that in the article I read. But Ott, a man named Ott, O-T-T, unless I'm not pronouncing that right, but if you say it's pronounced otherwise, fuck you. Ott said no to Felipe, who was asking for a cigarette. And it might be Philip, but I believe it's Felipe. So Philip went in for a big old bear hug. And he just bit a fucking chunk of the dude's ear off because he didn't give him a cigarette. Dude went to the hospital. Felipe was on a $3,000 bail.
Only $3,000 for buying
$3
a
grand?
fucking...
In Florida, you can rip fools. You got $3 grand?
Bite somebody's ear off.
Go bite someone's ear off.
That's where
do the bath salts thing, zombie it out.
Hashtag bath salt challenge. Bite ear off challenge.
Yeet.
That's even more hardcore.
The best.
Bite your friend's ear off on TikTok and send us the video.
Yeah. Then send us his ear. If you contact me and you got an ear that you have severed and you got video proof, we will showcase it on the Void podcast.
We'll make a necklace of them and wear it around.
Yeah. Dude, alright. If I get enough of you guys cutting off your own ears, I'll cut off my own ear. And we'll make a big family necklace.
That's Vincent Van Gogh. That's cool, man.
Alright. Alright, so all of us need to go pick out our favorite. Let's all go to Amsterdam. We'll get plastered. Van Gogh used to frickin'. What the hell was he on? What is that drug that I can't name right now that he did a shit ton of with the dude he was living with?
I have no idea. Keep telling your story. I'll look it up.
No. It's on the tip of my tongue. Ether. Is that it? That's a drug, right? Ether?
I think so.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. They were huffing ether, and then they'd paint, and he was drunk, got in an argument with his roommate, who was another artist. I can't recall his name right now. And then, all ethered up, he cut off his own fucking ear, wrapped it up in a napkin, went to the brothel, and gave it to his favorite prostitute, and she freaked the fuck out. Legendary.
That's true love right there.
That's true love right there. That's like a girl that'll lick your butthole, man. You keep her. That's true love.
She might just be a freak.
Or she a freak. Stay away. It's a sketchy road.
We're not giving good advice to someone.
I don't know, if you're feeling it and she's licking your butt, dude, rock on.
If that's your MO, more power to you.
Then again, if you like ditch a hoe because she just licked your butt, you're a fool. You're a fool. Unless she was like what he was saying, just no man's land.
Either way, if you've gotten your butt licked, drop a like on the video.
If you got your butt licked, leave a like on this video. Actually, if your butt's been licked, favorite this video and add it to your watch later playlist. If your butt ain't been licked, leave a like.
Drop us a comment of your best butt licking story.
Yeah, you got some good booty licking story? Drop it in the comments. We want to hear it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm quite fond of the posterior of the females. You got another story for me, Gary?
Well, So imagine this, Casey. You wake up, about ready to go to work.
Waking up, I'm ready for work.
You're eating your eggs and toast.
I don't have fucking time for that in the morning, so I'm dressed.
You're freaking the fuck out. You run to the sink and you grab a quick glass of water.
I do that
Okay.
so I don't barf when
Yeah.
I brush my teeth. It's almost a daily occurrence.
And it just turns out to be a combination of rum, whiskey, and vodka.
It's gonna be a good day at work.
Well, this actually happened to some poor bastards or actually lucky bastards in India. I'd be like, am I in heaven right now?
But it was watered down. It was diluted, right?
I think a little bit. But anyway, these Indian officials confiscated a bunch of illegal liquor and buried it next to a well.
Pause. This was outside of the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought earlier you said Indiana.
Oh.
So you saying Indian officials? I was just like, that ain't PC, bro. So in
Walking
India,
bear,
it was in
flying
India.
eagle.
It was in India?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this happened in India.
Yeah.
God damn it, Garrett.
Because they don't have.
Give me the context.
They already don't have frickin' water to drink, and then the little water they have is full of booze now, and that's all they have.
It's a good life.
Like nobody could go to work, kids couldn't go to school.
Let's start a GoFundMe. We'll get a bunch of cash from our thousands of viewers.
We'll send some booze to this.
No. I was saying we get a big ship and we all just go there.
Do what?
Drink their booze water, bro.
You know how gross that stuff is, probably?
I mean, hell, all the amoebas in it. You're not going to get dysentery. A little bit of alcohol in there, kill that shit.
It's probably true.
It's probably the cleanest water in India. Oh, sorry if you're from India. Really no hatred, except T-Series. But, yeah, no, that's about how I feel. That's pretty, yeah. Gary's right.
I need a refill.
Refills. Yeah, so was anything done about that, or should those people just still drinking alcohol?
I think they're still just drinking pure fucking alcohol for until they can get the well water clean.
All I'm saying is, on the grand scale of things, people in the United States for a good while were bitching about Flint, Michigan, which, I mean, they had reason.
The water was gross.
Water had lead in it and shit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if it was really an issue to you, it went on for about 6 years before anything happened, so hopefully you moved your children out of that town. But,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, dude, even Elon Musk donated water filtration systems to all the schools and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Old news there, that's not current. Oh, I mean, it's relevant. Shit matters.
But not
Elon Musk
today.
is a little American baby.
Okay, do you remember that? Have you ever seen that stupid commercial about the water bar? Have you ever seen one of those stupid water bars? It's like a hipster thing. I saw one in Vegas. It's where you go into it's like a bar with taps, but it's just frickin' different waters. But it's all just water.
Not a fan.
It's pretty dumb, right? Anyway, there's a commercial where they have these people off the street come in and drink this water. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good water. And the guy's like, yeah, that's just regular tap water. He's like, did you know there's 0.001% of lead in that water? Would you drink it? And the guy's like, oh no, I wouldn't drink that. It's lead. And it's that's the most stupid argument I've ever heard. There's tolerances for it. You can have lead in your body.
Fun fact: foods that are produced in factories around the world, there's only a percentage of insects and animal parts they can have in their food. Doesn't mean there's none. So that rat that fell into the machine, packaged all your little Debbies, well, that rat was just spread out between 100 little Debbies, so it's okay. Or maybe 1,000 little Debbies. Well, there's 2 per package, 1,000 packages, so 2,000 little Debbies with a little piece of rat in each one. No. I mean, let's be real. You're managing your own little Debbie factory, right? You're pushing your own little Debbies down that conveyor line, right? Little motherfucking rat runs on your conveyor belt and just gets stomped by something you see in the cartoons, right? And you're just like, fuck, my conveyor belt. obviously you're not close enough to just pull it off of it, and it just goes into the grinds and all your little Debbies.
I think you throw that away.
That's what he's saying. We're talking about capitalism here, boys. We're trying to make some money. So, I mean,
time is money. We ain't shutting down the conveyor belt.
I say for the next 100 that come out, you grab out like a package every fucking 15. You do a couple tasters, make everyone in your factory eat one, you know. And
at the Christmas party.
At the
Free
Christmas
little Debbies.
Free little Debbies.
Donate them to like a charity.
We can sell those. No one knows. Send those
Donate
all
them to the food
down
bank.
south.
For a tax write-off.
Oh,
That's what I do.
Little Debbie's just like starts making like 50% rat, 50% fucking chocolate. The little Twinkies and Snowballs, different varieties.
Well, fuck, I mean...
And they just ship them all to all the homeless shelters.
Well,
So, alright, me and Garrett are sick men, and we're drinking in front of you. Like, if you can't handle what I'm saying, just drop a like.
Smash that like button, subscribe,
like,
turn your own
punch your
on.
own computer through its tits.
Well, I mean, shit, if they like bats in China, you just send over some rat Debbie cakes. I'm sure they'd love those.
Some rat Debbies.
Debbie rats.
Debbie rats?
A rat named Debbie.
I feel like that should be a very attractive woman, but I feel like if I googled it, it's not.
What do you mean?
Rat Debbie. Or Debbie Rats. Maybe it's not an attractive woman. Now that I think about it.
I think that would come up as a woman.
Debbie Rats.
Like, last name Rats?
Is a woman even a woman these days?
I don't know. Depends on who you ask.
I don't know. Me and my gender fluid partner, we both are quite content.
Right now, I'm an Apache attack helicopter.
Yeah. Dude, you ever stuck the whole Gatling gun of your Apache attack helicopter into the side ships off the cruise ship? So they identify as a cruise ship. Or the sails. You ever draw on the sails on the cruise ship?
You know you're
What's the weirdest thing to identify as? Physical object, not actual sexual orientation. Because, I mean, nobody cares. But, I mean, like, if you think they care, they don't. Just be human and fuck. But,
an albatross.
An albatross? That ranch.
You be this one.
I said,
this is Casey.
Bullshit.
This is Casey's little
And this is Casey. When
giving the little blue pill.
No, I'm not 40. Happy. Or various blue pills with different effects.
You better stop right there, boy.
Yeah, no longer. Actually, about a half-inch down from there. That's. Or no. If we're talking girth, we gotta go wider.
What do you even use this for? Like, is this like something for like industrial plumbing?
My nuts.
You know how easily you could kill somebody with this thing? You give like 2 really solid whacks.
I don't know. I feel like if both of us right now just tried to kill each other, I think I'd win.
I think I'd get you first.
Well, nah.
You'd be a little faster than me.
Well, I think that'd hurt, but I just think like a couple clocks of that real quick. I mean, you're done, you know?
It depends. Yeah, that would hurt.
Fuck yeah.
If I just like got this in front to block you.
Well, right, but I feel like I can push that, you know? You can't, unless you grab the bridge and we're fighting over it.
1,000 likes and we'll fight to the death.
10,000 likes and we will fight to the death. And I'll accept the court hearing because I'll win.
Sure, dude.
Garrett will accept the court hearing if he wins. 10,000 likes. We gotta put a date on this, though. It's like, what if I fall asleep for a year and I wake up and then I just gotta, we gotta fight.
Because I fucking whacked you in the head with a wrench?
Yeah. I mean, one time I was looking up videos of lions and tigers fighting, and I found some pretty screwed up videos on the internet.
Dude, those made me so mad.
Oh, they make me very mad. It made me mad. But neither of those animals won.
No, they were both destroyed.
They both destroyed each other and they both died. I mean, it didn't show both of them dying, but that's what happened. And I feel like that's what would happen if you and I ran at each other.
There's no winners in this
Rinse
competition.
and rinse. I mean, fuck, if you won, you're good shit. You're in the hospital for 3 weeks.
The fucking swollen brain.
Die one! Alright, well, since I made a mentally able joke, I think it's about time to draw the line on the podcast.
Well, let's put
Just so you know. Casey don't got no beef with nobody. Unless you start beef with me, then fuck you. Otherwise, nah, fam. We cool. You start a little beef, and then you show up with a little more beer, and we're friends again. Till you're out of beer.
None of that Heineken shit either.
You don't like Heineken, bro?
Heineken's for pussies.
Garrett's wrong. And if I'm a pussy, well, you are what you eat. Have a great one, everybody. We will see you, I don't know, in a month and a week. Tomorrow.
Who knows?